What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we continue the Gauntlet Series for the GEEKFLY Vitas. I always stumble on that one. Earbuds. It's been a kind of an interesting start to the to this Gauntlet Series. But we're going to continue to press on. I think we got some good competition coming up for these guys. Speaking of competition, the next one's up in this video, in this series, is the AVIOT TE-ZX1 Earbuds. Now again, this should be a very interesting head-to-head. I would definitely want to see how these two compare. I think they're pretty much close in specs as well. So this should be very, very interesting. Now, if you want to see price, specs, and app breakdown for each of these, I'll leave links in the description below for my unboxing videos for both. If you want to pick these up, I'll leave links also in the description to where you can buy one or both of these. All right, but before we jump in, just make sure you hit that like button. If you want to join the community, go and hit the subscribe button. That helps out. And if you want to help it actually doing more to help the channel, rather, go and hit the join button, become a member. You'll have access to some exclusive content for members only, or you'll be one of the ones that be to see some exclusive content first before everyone else does. And not to mention other things that may be coming down the pipe for members only in 2026 and beyond. So either way, always, it all helps the channel. All right, so no pressure at all from me. So let's dive in. Let's go ahead and take a look at both of these earbuds. All right, as you can see, they got the Cowboy Bebop version. I got the of the ZX1s. I just like that look with the crimson red and black. I think it's really cool looking. I am going to get the original versions of these eventually, get them in. They're more of a conventional style, but I like the way these look. Again, both of them very chunky, as you can see, will protrude out of your ear a little bit when you have them both in. I am rocking the stock ear tips on the Vitas, and I'm rocking the stock Comply foam tip on the ZX1. These came in the box with the ZX1. So I've been rocking both of those since I kept these on. Again, very, very good earbuds. I can't wait to see how these two compare. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go through our testing and stuff for these, and then we're going to come back for the sound test. Stay strapped in.
This is a mic test with the GEEKFLY Vitas Earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the GEEKFLY Vitas Earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the GEEKFLY Vitas Earbuds in a crowded location. This is a mic test with the GEEKFLY Vitas Earbuds in a crowded location. This is a mic test with the AVIOT TE-ZX1 Earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the AVIOT TE-ZX1 Earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the AVIOT TE-ZX1 Earbuds in a crowded location. This is a mic test with the AVIOT TE-ZX1 Earbuds in a crowded location.
All right, we are back in for the sound test. We're going to start off here with the Vitas. We are in the GEEKFLY app. Now, I have to start playing some audio in order for me to show you my EQ settings. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get some audio playing. I got Murdergram going on right now, so we're going to drop that off. And now let's go up in here. All right, let me turn it down a little bit just in case. All right, for right now. All right, so I just want to quickly show you my EQ settings. Now, I went back to this setting from the previous video. I had the V shape, and if you watch the first video of this Gauntlet series, you understand where I was coming from as far as certain songs and how they sounded and everything through these earbuds. So I was sitting there. I've been trying to find that recipe to get the best sound out of these guys so far, and hopefully I found it. If not, then I will revert back to the V shape right here on the video, and we'll just run through with that one from now on. But I'm trying to find that right spot for these. but I think this is it here. So we're going to go ahead and stick with this one. I just wanted to show you that, guys, because I didn't want there to be any. Of course, there's probably going to be some that's going to say that, well, I this benefited this, or you lean more to whatever. Depending on how this ends, I lean more one way than the other. I'm quite sure that's going to be in there, but I'm trying to keep it 100 with you guys. I'm trying to find the best setting for these earbuds. I thought I had it, but then I didn't have it. But I digress. So this is what these look like right here. So we're gonna go ahead and, first of all, let me go ahead and now that I showed you that, I'm gonna pause this. All right, so now we're gonna go into our original first song, our actual first song rather, and that is "Feeling Good" by Dominic Fields Ami. All right, we're going to make sure we are at my optimal listening level. We are there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these guys in and make sure these guys are locked in. We're going to flip the camera. All right. Again, these guys do not have noise canceling, so they just have passive noise isolation. So we're just going to make sure everybody is locked in as they should. We are golden that way. Let's get our cutaway. All right, here we go. Song number 1, Vitas by GEEKFLY. Let's get it. Again, volume is great on these. I ain't got to worry about turning these up. I could even turn, like I said, I turned these down in the last one. I'm going to turn them down here in this one. Especially when those background vocals come in. They are so booming, so clear. The lead vocalist sounds so crisp, so clear. You get all her nuance. You pick up everything. Again, the enunciation of words, the B's, T's, and P's are popping. Then the exhales of at the end of the verse, the inhale at the beginning of the verse, you're getting all of that. You're not missing a thing. And then the background vocalists come in. They filling in the space. You got a good sound stage, and they're very clear. You got that echoing, the slight echoing. And this sounds good. All right. I love these earbuds, especially in this type of setting. Man, they really showing out here. It sounds so clean. All right, let's go ahead and get these get the ZX1s paired up. We're going to take a look at the AVIOT app. Let me show you my settings in there, and we'll see how they handle song number 1. All right, we are back in. We got the AVIOTs all paired up. The ZX1s. We are in the AVIOT era app for them, if I could talk. All right. Let's go ahead and quickly show you my sound settings here. Actually, what's this? Okay. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I got a little confused. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and our EQ settings. These are my EQ settings for the ZX1s. All right. That's the one we're going to go with here. So we got noise canceling turned on for these guys. And we got our music ready to go. Guess that app was better in the candy bar format than the tablet. So we went with this one here. So let's go ahead and get these guys in. All right, get them locked in. Nice and snug. I know a lot of people are going to be in the, let me switch the camera. A lot of people probably going to be in the chat or in the comments rather talking about because they're using the Comply Phone ear tips. But if the tuning isn't there, then the tuning isn't there. All right. I can find some Comply Phone tips and try it with the Vitas. I'll probably do that off camera, but I'll definitely try it. Maybe. All right. Excuse me. All right. So let's do a quick test here. All right. So we got our music going into the right one. We're going to check our volume level here. We are at the orange line. So let's go ahead and get our flip back. Let's go ahead and get our cutaway. All right. We are here. We've got the ZX1's in. Song number 1, let's get it. All right, right off the bat, good volume. Don't have to worry about turning it up. Vocalist sounds clear. A little bit of a bass in her voice, but clear. Background vocalists sound nice and clear as well, filling in the gap, filling in the spacing there, rather. Again, the nuance, the enunciation of the words. I mean, these sound really good. Her exhale at the end of the verse, very clear. And again, got the echoing as well. Again, got the echoing and everything. You could definitely tell which one's bright, has a brighter sound. Oh, man, they sound nice and clear. Nice spacing. No one is overpowering or anyone else. So you got good balance. And pause that. You sound really, really good. Got a nice little bit of a bass in her voice, in the little bass in the sound, a little bit on the warmer end. Not too much, just a tip that makes it sound very, very nice. Again, you could tell which one between these has the brighter overall sound, but man, just starting off really good. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and switch over to song number 2. All right, we are back in. We got our song number 2 up, our bass song, Nipsey Hussle, Bootlaces 2. We've got the Vitas in. Now, remember, let me flip the camera. I did go ahead and I changed up the EQ settings on the Vitas. So we're back in with the same song as the previous episode and the one that's going to be moving forward. But we're just going to see how these do with this one. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right. Again, that volume, nice. Nice, bright sound. Crisp with the vocalist there. Okay. See, the bass is nice here. Power. Got that little drop. I wish it dropped a little harder, a little lower, but still good. That bass is smooth here. Not powerful, but not as powerful, but still smooth, clean. Nipsey Hussle sounded nice and clear with his lyrics. And again, the drop is nice. I wish it was deeper, but it's nice. And the background vocals, you can hear them very clear too. So they're not being not being muffled or anything like that. So I like that. All right. I mean, man, they sound good. Again, the bass was smooth, nice rumble to it. Again, I wish the drop was a little harder, a little deeper, but it was good. Very impressed with it. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and pop these out. Excuse me. And we're going to put the ZX1s in. All right, make sure these guys are locked in. Oh, my ear tip fell out. Let's go ahead and put that back. All right, we got that locked in. All right, let's get that twisted and locked. Okay, make sure we're both locked in. All right, we are both locked in. Let's do a test. All right. Got a sound test in. We are rocking now. So here we go. Song number 2, bass song with the ZX1s. Let's go. Again, good volume. Don't have to worry about making any adjustments there. Vocalist nice and clear. Ooh, that bass is nice. Let's hear this drop. Okay. Good. Could be better, but in my opinion. But the bass sounds so clean. Whew. Okay. You make sure there's a... Okay, yeah, we had our preferred listening level. Okay. Okay. I just wondering. But Nipsey Hussle sounds nice and clear. The bass is good. I wish I had a little bit more punch, but it's nice. It's smooth. I wish that bass drop was a little. Let me pause it. I wish that bass drop was a little deeper. It just again nicely done. I love how smooth the bass was on there. Yeah, it was a good one. All right, this is actually a very interesting head to head so far. Let's see how we end this one with the final song. All right, we are back in for our final song. We've got "Home" by Kenny G, our instrumental song, our instrumental selection for the series. We've got the VTOS in. Let's go ahead and flip the camera and put our cutaway up. All right, so here we go. Song number 3. Let's get it. Again, high, crisp, right off the bat. The keys is crisp. All right. Okay, a better transition with the low keys. Nice little rumble there. Okay, now we got the crisp saxophone. Yes, now I'm getting the low keys. Okay, now not as subtle, but there. So I'm liking the detail that I'm finally getting here. The saxophone just sounds fantastic. And we got good balance with the keyboard as well. Wonderful. Okay. Again, when they hit them low keys, I'm finally hearing the slight rumble from the low keys. Fantastic, which was missing in the previous episode. And very clear. Man, fantastic. I don't know, maybe it might have to have been the EQ settings. It has to be. But man, I like the fact that detail is now showing up for the VTOS. But man, that was a definite improvement in those earbuds, making that subtle change that I did. But man, that's a really much better than what I was getting in the previous episode. So I'm very happy about that because it gives me the opportunity to show these guys at their very best going up against some of these guys that I got here and over there waiting their turn. So we don't, no short, you don't want to cut them short in any way at all. So, all right, let's go ahead. Enough of that. Drop these out. And we're going to put in the ZX1s. All right. Oops. I activated something. Let's back this up. All right. I kept activating the music, which I didn't want to do. All right. And let's go ahead and lock these guys in. They are locked in. All right. So I know the music's working on these, so we're going to dive right in. Song number 3, ZX1s. Let's get it. Okay. Nice, crisp, high keys. I like that. Good transition to the low end. That saxophone comes out and it comes and gets you. Nice, crisp. That sounds really good. And again, you're getting that slight rumble from the low keys. Very clear. It sounds nice and crisp. Again, I love the balance with the saxophone and the keyboard. Very clear. And, that sounds good. That sounds really, really good. Again, you got the crispness of the keyboard at the beginning with the transition, slight rumble. That was represented then and then throughout the song. Every time those low keys were hit, you got that nice little subtle low end bass you want to call it bass, low. I called the low in there. From that song, the saxophone very crisp, but didn't overpower the keyboard. Great balance, good separation, because then you can actually just listen to strictly the saxophone, or if you just want to focus on the sound from the keyboard, you could do that. The great spacing there will sound really, really good, man. This has been a very interesting one. All right, so what we want to do now, we're going to go ahead and clean this up. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about these guys category by category. We're going to pick our winner, man, and it's tough. It's going to be a tough one. I'm telling you that right now, but we're going to get one here. So stick with me. We're almost done. Stay strapped in. All right, we are back in, and man, this is turned out to be pretty good. All right, I like the way the Vitas have responded to the change in settings for this episode. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about it. First, let's talk about price. And based on today's prices, I would definitely give the nod to the ZX1s. They are a little bit cheaper coming in over the Vitas. As far as the app, again, I will give that point to the ZX1s. The AVIOT app seems a little bit more polished in comparison to the GEEKFLY app. As far as the mics, I'm going to give it again to the ZX1s. I think they have the slightly better sounding mics, especially in a crowded location or situation where there's a lot of ambient noise. I think you come off a lot more, sounding a lot more clear, a lot more natural with the ZX1s, although they both allow in a good amount of the ambient sound around you, but you still sound pretty clear with them. So they will get the point in that one as well. Noise canceling, they will get the point. The ZX1s do, because of course the Vitas does not have active noise canceling. All right, so now with all that out the way, let's jump into the audio, the sound test. Now again, I did change the EQ settings of the Vitas from episode 1 to this one, so they come in with a totally different setting, and it definitely improved them, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about it. Let's go into our first song, Dominic Fields, I Me Feeling Good. Both of them did a fantastic job with the vocal clarity, both of the lead vocalist and the background vocalist. Now, I have to admit, the Vitas has a brighter overall sound. They have a higher volume ceiling as well, so they are the louder of the two. However, just that brightness there, it really showed out, and it really, really shined in this song. That's the word I was looking for. Really shined in this one, where you're just dealing with strictly a cappella, excuse me, just vocals and everything. So again, it shined with their background vocalist, lead vocal. Everybody was really crystal clear on the Vitas. In this one, you got all the nuances, her breathing rhythm, her enunciation of words, the slight echoing. You got all of it there. Well done for the Vitas in that one. Now, of course, the ZX1s are no slouch. They sounded gave a little more, lean just a tad bit to the warmer side, gave her a little bit more of a, I guess you could say more of a natural tone. She had a slight little bass in her voice, made it sound a little bit more natural, in my opinion, but still very clear, both lead and background vocalists, good spacing. No one was overshadowed or anything like that, but they definitely, you could tell the difference as far as brightness of sound between the two, but both of them did a really good job in that one. Now going into the second song, our bass song, this is where the Vitas improved with the EQ changes. They improved as opposed to the earlier episode. Made that change. The bass a little bit more prominent. Do I wish it was a little bit even more prominent than that? Yes, but it did have a nice little thump there. The drop again didn't drop. I wish it would have dropped further, but it did sound good in the Nipsey Hussle song, Blue Laces too. Again, just the vocalists, not to mention Nipsey Hussle and the background vocalist in that song were both really, really clear. Again, shines with that with the mids and highs on these. Again, the vocalist shine, the bass literally with that change really literally showed up and gave me a nice little punch there with that. Now I'm switching over to the ZX1s. Again, vocalists are nice and clear. A little to the warm, not too much, but you can tell the difference in comparison. But the bass was great. Again, the drop didn't go as low as I wanted it, similar to the Vitas, but nice, smooth sounding bass, not too not overpowering the vocalist, but very well done. Again, I wish it was a little bit, and the drop was a little bit deeper, but other than that, really good sounding bass on that one. Now going into our third song, our instrumental song, Home by Kenny G. Again, the Vitas, Chris highs with the keyboard, they transition. You got that transition. You can hear the transition to the low keys. It wasn't as powerful. It was there, but it was definitely there, and it was definitely present more so than the first episode, which I was very happy to see. And it stayed consistent with that with the low key bass in this one. Again, I think that change in the EQ did it for them, but again, that low key, it stayed there. You know, that little, every time they struck it, it wasn't as powerful or wasn't as prominent as I would have liked it to be, as I expected it to be, especially after listening to Blue Laces 2. But it was definitely there, and I was glad to see it. But then you got the crisp, of course, the saxophone, very crisp, just sound wonderful with these earbuds. The mids and highs are really the truth on these. Excuse me. Then, of course, the balance with the keyboard, separation, all of it top notch. Well done on these Vitas. And then slipping over to the ZX1s, again, got the crisp highs. That transition was definitely there, and it stayed consistent throughout that song with the low end. Very clear. The saxophone, nice and crisp. And then, of course, you got that balance between the keyboard and saxophone as well. Absolutely love the way that sounded. Well done, both of these guys. It was definitely a way to go there. Now, if I had to pick my winner on this one, I'm gonna say this right now. Now that I made the adjustments with the settings, I like the way the Vitas sounds. I like that with the, you're starting to show that, you can hear the bass in certain situations. They all had their caveats, of course, but I like the way the change in the EQ settings have affected these guys. They're doing a really good job. Now, like I said, if I had to choose which one to go with, it's really that close. And when it comes to the sound, they're really they're really close on that. Really, really close. So I think I'm going to have to go. This is tough. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the ZX1s on this one. I think, they leaned just a tad bit warmer sounding than the Vitas, but the bass on these is a little bit more powerful. And if we are going to, according to the breakdown, they are cheaper. They have noise canceling. They have better mics for calls. If we want to add that stuff in as well, that's why I ran it down. I would have to go with these on this one because of that. Now, if we going based on sound, now that I have to change settings, I will call it a draw because of the setting changes that I did with the Vitas. But if we're going to add in everything else, the costs, the features, then we're going to have to go with the ZX1. So my winner on this one is the ZX1, based a lot on the features, because I think it's a wash, in my opinion. Yes, these are sound a little bit brighter, but these sound more natural. So I think it's a little bit of a wash when it comes to the sound overall. So yeah, next thing up is the features, so they'll get the win. So the winner on this one is the ZX1s, the AVIOT TE-ZX1s. I'm very happy with the Vitas and how they responded to the app change, the EQ changes. I can't wait to see them continue on. It's just this one, I just couldn't ignore the features of the ZX1s. I could not discount them for this one. So again, a lot of people complained about you ain't talking about the features of this stuff like this, but these guys are so close in sound. That's the only logical thing is, all right, so they sound that close. Let's go. What's the next thing up? The features. All right. So pricing, boom, and so on and so forth. But again, a great episode. I'm very happy with the Vitas, despite them not winning this one. They're going to move on to the next one in the Gauntlet Series. We're going to see how they fare. If you want to join me with that, go and hit the subscribe button. If you want to, if you appreciate what the video, go and hit the like button. And of course, like I said, if you want to join me as I continue on, hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when videos like that, like this and others drop. Also, if you want to help the channel even more, you can go ahead and hit the join button, become a channel member. You'll have access to members only content that will be released, and be one of the first members first to see any unboxing videos and stuff like that I got coming up, or things that will eventually go public, but you'll be one of the first to see it. All right. Again, absolutely fun chime. I love the way they're rebounding. Let's see if they can. Let's see how they do moving forward with the other ones in this Gauntlet series. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.